Pakistan's top court last week ordered former Prime Minister Imran Khan's transfer to a private hospital amid concerns about his health. Khan, 73, who was ousted in 2022 and has been in prison since August 2023 on what are largely believed to be politically driven convictions, is reported to have lost a significant part of his vision in his right eye. Pakistan's Supreme Court cited Khan's fundamental right while ordering the authorities to ensure his health and safety. A federal minister promised to implement the order in a letter in spirit, while another said they will see Khan's treatment at a public hospital. He was then transferred to a hospital and taken back to prison. Khan's arrest after falling out with the military establishment sparked unprecedented protests and attacks on military installations. His party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI, was stripped of its election symbol, the cricket bat, ahead of the 2024 election, and its candidates were forced to contest as independents. Yet, they emerged as the single largest bloc in parliament and retained power in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The Supreme Court order in Khan's favor following years of sweeping crackdown on PTI came against the backdrop of fresh talks about rethinking the 18th Constitutional Amendment, which was passed in 2010 to devolve greater powers to provinces. It left the federal government with only 48% of the national budget. Reports suggest that the powerful army chief, Field Marshal Asim Munir, widely seen as the de facto ruler, has been unable to get his civilian allies in the government on board to scrap the amendment. The allies are not forthcoming, despite ganging up against Khan for their return to power with the military's support. They expanded Munir's powers through the 27th Constitutional Amendment to further marginalize Khan, who remains popular. The 27th Amendment granted the army chief lifelong legal immunity and limited the Supreme Court's independence. President Asif Ali Zardari, who signed it to enshrine the 27th Amendment in the Constitution, is the main champion of the 18th Amendment. His Pakistan People's Party has been among its beneficiaries. The PPP has ruled Sindh, the country's second largest province, for 18 years. It has expanded its patronage networks with greater fiscal space in a province whose capital, Karachi, is Pakistan's economic engine. The Sharifs, Zardari's rivals turned allies, were also pleased to see the back of Khan as he wrested power from them in the political heartland of Punjab in 2018. The Sharifs have invested heavily in infrastructure, with a network of motorways a visible symbol of their development politics. The 18th Amendment is also critical to the Sharifs in Punjab, where Nawaz Sharif's daughter Maryam is the chief minister. Maryam is being groomed for a bigger role with Lahore's infrastructure development as a model for her national ambitions. The civilian allies of Munir allowed the passage of the 27th Amendment without much debate, undermining the Supreme Court's remit, weakening the check on executive power and the essence of what they claim to champion. They elevated Munir to the post of a chief of defense forces in charge of army, the navy, and the air force, and granted him lifelong immunity from criminal prosecution. They did so for short-term goals. The military is now entrenched more than ever. There is no guarantee that it will not fall back upon its musical chairs policy. Khan's opponents accuse the military of bringing him to power. Khan initially maintained he was on the same page with the military, But eventually, like Nawaz Sharif and Benazir Bhutto before him, he later accused the military of forcing him out of power. Khan's falling out with the military followed a pattern since the 1960s, beginning with Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who was made military ruler, Ayub Khan's foreign minister at age when he was just 35-year-old. As the Prime Minister, Bhutto chose Ziaul Haq as army chief, superseding 7 generals. Bhutto was executed following a questionable trial after Zia deposed him in 1977. In the 1980s, Zia mentored Sharif before the military cut short his first term as the Prime Minister in 1993. In his second term, Sharif chose Pervez Musharraf, superseding 2 officers. Musharraf would depose and jail Nawaz Sharif in October 1999. Sharif accused Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa of pressurizing the judiciary to convict him of corruption charges and disqualify him in 2017. 4 years earlier, Sharif returned to power and appointed Bajwa, superseding 4 officers. Sharif accused Bajwa of installing Imran Khan. Khan then blamed Bajwa for his removal. The Nawaz Sharif government's inability to allocate more funds is believed to have been among the reasons for falling out with Bajwa. The 18th Amendment left the federal government with fewer resources. Bajwa spoke publicly against it and equated it with Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's 6-point formula for greater autonomy before he, that is Mujibur Rahman, split Pakistan in 1971. Imran Khan was the first Prime Minister since the 18th Amendment, was the first elected Prime Minister since the 18th Amendment came into effect in 2015. He felt the financial pinch with debt service taking roughly 30% of the federal budget. Defense budget spending was raised by 18% this year. The 18th Amendment has curtailed the role of federal government, which is effectively run by the military. Imran Khan is believed to be amenable to repealing it. The Supreme Court's relief for Khan is significant in this context. It came months after the passage of the 27th Amendment, which greatly undermined the independence of the judiciary. Years after, it clashed with Musharraf and forced the military ruler to step down in 2018. In 2019, the Supreme Court allowed a special court to try and convict Musharraf despite the military's opposition. It suspended General Bajwa's extension, forcing the then Imran Khan government to legislate. In 2012, the court ordered criminal proceedings against former Army Chief Aslam Beg and retired Lieutenant General Asad Durrani for illegally financing the campaign to influence the 1990 election in favor of Nawaz Sharif against Benazir Bhutto. The 27th Amendment was a major blow to an occasionally assertive and activist judiciary. The muzzled judiciary suddenly finding its voice, giving Imran Khan relief, signals there is more than meets the eye. If you like this video, please do share, comment, and write to me about what you thought about it. Thank you very much.